Since time immemorial, Jamaica has confronted the relentless fury of hurricanes, powerful, unpredictable, and often devastating. These natural phenomena have tested the resilience of the island and its people, shaping the nation's history and spirit. But what happens when a storm defies expectations? What happens when it slows down, lingers, and intensifies gradually, challenging preparedness and response? This is the story of Hurricane Melissa, a rare, sluggish, yet formidable force that tested Jamaica's resilience in October 2025. In this documentary, Perils of a Slow-Moving Storm, the impact of Hurricane Melissa on Jamaica, we provide a detailed timeline from its first appearance on the horizon to its landfall. When the storm rages and the world feels shaken, remember, our strength lies in unity. It's in coming together, sharing hope, and standing shoulder to shoulder that we find resilience. Every act of kindness, every word of encouragement builds a brighter tomorrow. We are stronger as one. Our courage, compassion, and hope will light the way forward. Together we rise. Together we rebuild, because hope is never lost when we stand united, because we are stronger together. Welcome back to Perils of a Slow-Moving Storm, the impact of Hurricane Melissa on Jamaica. I'm Carol Francis. October has long been a testing month for Jamaica. Over the years, this month has repeatedly brought severe weather systems, hurricanes, tropical storms, and heavy rainfall that have left their mark on our island. From the devastating floods of 1933 to the floods caused by Hurricane Gustav in 2008, October has often been a time when Jamaica has had to confront nature's fiercest displays. The storms we've endured in October are a stark reminder of the island's vulnerability during this period. In 2025, Hurricane Melissa added another chapter to this ongoing story, a sluggish yet powerful storm that tested our resilience once again. Jamaica's history is punctuated by slow-moving hurricanes, storms that linger over our shores longer than anticipated, causing prolonged rainfall, flooding, and destruction. Since 1933, Jamaica has experienced several slow-moving storms. On October 29, 1933, a Category 1 hurricane lingered over the island at its peak intensity before moving onward to Cuba. Its slow progression resulted in heavy rains and wind damage. In October 1950, Hurricane King moved slowly northeastward, sitting west of Jamaica for some time. The prolonged rainfall peaked at 25 inches in just 48 hours, leading to widespread flooding. Moving into the 1970s, the pattern continued. On October 19, 1973, Tropical Storm Gilda slowly traversed north of Jamaica, causing significant rainfall, 16.2 inches in 24 hours, and triggered mudslides, especially in St. Andrew, where homes were destroyed. Then on June 12, 1979, Tropical Depression 1 caused torrential rainfall with up to 32 inches of rain falling as it moved slowly north from the west. Most recently, in August 2008, Hurricane Gustav made landfall on Jamaica's eastern tip as a high-end tropical storm. Its slow movement caused considerable damage across several parishes. These storms serve as stark reminders that sluggish systems can be as deadly as fast-moving ones, trapping communities in the path of relentless rains and winds. Fast forward to October 2025. Jamaica faced a storm unlike any in recent memory. Melissa, moving at just 3 miles per hour, a true slow burner. On October 21 at 6 in the morning, Jamaica's Meteorological Service issued a tropical storm watch, warning of the potential threat within 48 hours. By 2 p.m., Melissa was over the Caribbean Sea, south of Hispaniola, drifting west at 40 miles per hour. Matthew Semuda, Jamaica's Minister of Water, Environment and Climate Change, addressed Parliament, warning of the risks and the importance of preparedness.
Madam Speaker, I rise this afternoon to update this Honourable House and the people of Jamaica on the development of Tropical Storm Melissa, which has formed over the Caribbean Sea and is now posing a threat to several territories in our region, including our beloved island. Madam Speaker, Melissa's formation is a sobering reminder that this year's Atlantic hurricane season will not be ending quietly.
Over the next days, Melissa's sluggish pace caused concern, but also prompted intense preparations. As the system reorganized, its winds strengthened and the forecast shifted dramatically. October 23, a tropical storm warning and hurricane watch was in effect as Melissa moved south-southwest of Hispaniola, moving very slowly, only 2 miles per hour, with maximum winds approaching 75 kilometers per hour or 45 miles per hour. The Met Office warned that Melissa was poised to intensify over the next days. As Melissa's sluggish movement continued, the system began to reorganize, gradually intensifying. On October 25, it had become a Category 1 hurricane with sustained winds near 160 kilometers per hour. The government held a high-level briefing emphasizing readiness and unity. By evening, Melissa had strengthened further to Category 3, a major hurricane with winds exceeding 195 kilometers per hour. The next day, October 26, Melissa reached Category 4 with winds near 230 kilometers per hour or 145 miles per hour, moving near 7 kilometers per hour or 5 miles per hour. That same evening, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness declared Jamaica a threatened area.
Based on current assessments, all of Jamaica will likely be affected by hurricane conditions, meaning heavy rains and winds above 100 miles per hour. It is also likely that hurricane conditions could linger over Jamaica due to the slow-moving nature of this system. Given the extended days of rains leading up to landfall and the expected inundation from the actual passage, we can expect general flash floodings across the island. However, low-lying areas, coastal areas, river courses, gullies, and other waterways will overflow either from excess rain or storm surges. Extended rainfall and heavy rainflows will also trigger landslides in hilly areas. Buildings and activities in or along those waterways or hillsides will be at high risk of damage, complete displacement, and loss of life. Hurricane winds will most certainly damage roofs and compromise some structures. By all assessments of the current situation, while we pray for the best, hour by hour, it is becoming apparent that the impact of Hurricane Melissa could be greater than Hurricane Perils, certainly in terms of rainfall and flooding. We can lessen damage and speed up recovery by taking preparatory and precautionary measures before the impact of the hurricane. It is expected that Hurricane Melissa will make landfall on Tuesday. I take this opportunity to reinforce the appeal to residents of low-lying areas, historically flood-prone areas, gully banks, riverbanks, hillsides, and other vulnerable areas to take precautions to protect your property where possible, prepare your evacuation plan, and comply with the evacuation orders given. Avoid unnecessary risks such as playing in floodwaters and waterways, climbing trees and roofs during the hurricane, shelter in place, stay inside during the hurricane. We have issued an order under the Disaster Risk Management Act declaring the entire island of Jamaica a threatened area. This provides us with the legal framework to take all necessary measures to safeguard lives and property during the hurricane. All our national agencies, ODPEM, the JDF, the JCF, the NWA, and our first responders are on high alert. Shelters have been prepared, supplies pre-positioned, and emergency teams are standing by across the island. At the time of impact, the government will declare a disaster under the DRMA, along with the various other measures necessary from time to time to take us safely through the periods of disaster, relief, and recovery. Today, I signed a compulsory evacuation order for several communities along the South Coast, which will empower ODPEM to act as necessary to have persons evacuated from high-risk areas to save lives. We have also issued an order under the Trade Act to prevent price gouging. No one should seek to profit from the hardship of a disaster. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining will be issuing a recommended price list for all market produce. We have intensified our drain cleaning and mitigation programs across the island, targeting critical areas that are most vulnerable to flooding. Over 400 million Jamaican dollars has so far been allocated for drain cleaning and waterway cleanup, including at least $3 million to each constituency to carry out emergency drain cleaning and local preparedness. In addition to preparing the country for the impact of the hurricane, we are also taking steps to position ourselves for the recovery following impact.
As part of Jamaica's ongoing Storm Watch initiative, authorities and meteorologists were tirelessly monitoring the slow but relentless strengthening of the storm. Then came the news no one wanted to hear. The situation had escalated beyond what anyone had expected.
What we have facing us is a major Category 5 hurricane that is over the waters of the Caribbean Sea and moving closer and closer to the mainland of Jamaica.
By October 27, Melissa had become a Category 5 hurricane, the strongest on the Saffir-Simpson scale, packing sustained winds of 260 kilometers per hour or 160 miles per hour. It was heading directly for Jamaica. Now, beginning October 22, 2025, daily national briefings were being held to keep the nation informed and vigilant. The government and emergency services worked tirelessly, activating every measure possible to ensure Jamaica was as prepared as humanly possible for a Category 5 hurricane. From mobilizing resources to issuing vital warnings, every effort was made to safeguard lives and property.
And it's very important that you get your information from reliable sources. So we have several of those individuals here in the room today, and they will speak to you and they will give you accurate information. And so it's very important that you listen to what they're saying. We are not trying to cause any amount of panic. We want to know about the storm, we want to know about the trajectory of the storm, and we want to give all of Jamaica information so that they can be prepared for whatever outcome happens in the next few days.
Jamaicans across the island were equipped with the essential information and support needed to face the approaching storm. The unwavering dedication and relentless work of all our authorities underscored their commitment to protecting the nation in its hour of greatest need. Jamaica's Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport, Darrell Vaz, announced extra spectrum for telecoms companies, Digicel and Flow, to help restore phone and internet service faster. This measure was to ensure people could stay in touch with loved ones and emergency services could communicate more effectively during recovery.
Keep faith, keep strong, and know that you have a government that is going to be there for you, with you, but you need to be smart. If you are smart, we can work together. If you are not, unfortunately, you will pay the consequences. This hurricane is real.
As emergency efforts to protect lives and property were underway ahead of the hurricane's landfall, heartbreaking news came.
Very sad to announce that even though the storm has not yet hit, we have had 3 deaths related to the preparation of the storm. One in Hanover, one in St. Catherine, and the other in St. Elizabeth. And these are due to persons preparing for the storm, unfortunately, cutting down of trees in particular. In one case, a tree fell on one of the individuals. In St. Elizabeth, he was airlifted, and it's a health worker. He was airlifted to the University Hospital and succumbed to his injuries. Another case in Hanover, the same thing. And another case in St. Catherine. In one of the cases, there was an electrocution, as is reported to me, linked to the cutting down of trees. There have been about 13 other injuries linked to preparation, most of which are linked to persons falling off ladders or rooftops trying to prepare for the storm. I just want to use the opportunity to urge Jamaicans, firstly, to express condolences to the family members who have lost loved ones, and the health system will provide support as necessary to those individuals. But to also urge Jamaicans, we understand the need to prepare, but we urge extreme caution in that preparation. If you need help, call for help, but be careful that you protect yourself even in the preparation.
On October 28, Hurricane Melissa made landfall on Jamaica's southern coast in the parish of Westmoreland at 185 miles per hour or 295 kilometers per hour, one of the strongest hurricanes to hit the island. It marginally increased its speed from at 1.2 miles per hour to moving northeast at around 9 miles per hour or 15 kilometers per hour.
So as of 4 p.m., it is 15 miles east of Montego Bay. It is moving towards the northeast at 8 miles per hour, and maximum sustained winds are now 230 kilometers per hour. So it is now down to a Category 4 hurricane. So it is now a Category 4 hurricane. Now, hurricane winds extend around about 300 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend around about 195 miles from the center. So in terms of the impacts, what are we looking at? Let's start with the winds. So it is a Category 4 hurricane, still a dangerous Category 4 hurricane. And in terms of the winds, we're expecting damaging hurricane force winds to continue across Jamaica, especially St. James, Trelawney, sections of St. Anne, sections of Hanover, and then for the remainder of the island, tropical storm force winds. So for example, if you're in Portland, St. Thomas, you will get tropical storm force gusts. But if you're in St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Manchester, Clarendon, and so forth, you will still likely get tropical storm force winds. So we're not in the clear as yet. Now, what is in terms of rainfall? We're expecting scattered showers, thunderstorms, heavy rainfall to continue primarily over St. James, Hanover, Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, sections of St. Anne, and then light to moderate showers at times over the rest of the island. So Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew. You will still get strong gusty winds, and you will get light to moderate rainfall.
Hurricane Melissa left a trail of devastation. Entire communities were inundated. Homes flooded. Hospitals damaged. Farms flattened. Roads impassable. The parishes of Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, St. James, Trelawney, and St. Anne bore the brunt of the storm's fury. Jamaica endured hours of onslaught from Hurricane Melissa.
And here we see where the system made its entry in the extreme eastern part of Westmoreland, moving across eastern Westmoreland and over southern St. James before going across the northwestern part of Trelawney. We see where it exited east of Falmouth, and this was just about 5 in the afternoon.
For the most part, because I think we're doing better than a lot of people, so it was scary. There was like a lot of water and the house was flooding and everyone was panicking, and it was just scary. It was chaos.
I remember holding onto the windows to keep the breeze from taking them off. The ceiling was coming down, pushing out water. We were boring the ceiling to release the pressure. It was a terrible 6 hours. Terrible. One point when we look outside the yard, there's flooded. Water came up to about here. We were fighting. I haven't been able to sleep well. You know, I mean, when you came out and you saw the damage and you came here, the future looks bleak for us, for them, for school, and when, I mean, I work here. I'm the fixed asset inventory officer here.
At the hospital, the Black River Hospital?
Right.
Okay.
So just in terms of our equipment and, I mean, saving lives, offering our services, right now I'm not sure how we'll recover from this.
I'm a single mother of 3. Brain man, I don't have anybody from St. Elizabeth. My house came crumbling down through the storm. There is not even the foundation not today. The furniture has been ripped up. Everything mashed up. So I'm here catching at staying with a fellow church member house at the moment. I have completely nothing, no clothes, nothing at all. The house is destroyed.
I'm now walking through the town center. These are the businesses. Well, this should be the road through the town. Yeah. These are the businesses. Melissa actually opened the doors to all the businesses. So there's just wide scale. People just going through, taking what they want. Because the hurricane has just run through the businesses with ease. So this is the middle of the town now, the business center of the town. That's Digicel. That's Digicel. Nothing is left. Nothing is left. These business people feel it. Christmas coming up and everybody is preparing. Come on, time people in place, brother. Oi! Let the people in place, man. And then I don't need for the up better, you know. And I don't need for the up better. Come down, come up better. Yeah. This used to be a building. I'm telling you now that I'm in the heart of business hub of Black River. These are the businesses in Black River. When they tell us that Black River is flat, that might not believe or understand what I'm saying. This is a picture of Black River. I'm standing in the middle of the town center. This is the road, and these are all the items from the businesses where the sea just walk through the businesses and dump them on the road. So that's from one side to the other. From one side to the other. See? See? The storm just went through it, ripped aside everything that could be ripped through. Tore aside everything that could be torn through. People are kind of helping themselves. It's kind of sad as police there. We can tell them, say, don't do it, because it won't make 1 ounce of a sense, because the place is. I'm going to show you the back of the building. I'm going to show you the back of the building, because this is the back of the building to the sea. Look at this. So just in case you can't enter from the front, look at this. This is the back of the building to the sea, and this is concrete. The storm and seawater actually licked down the concrete wall and walked right through the buildings. Literally walked through the building. So it's safe to say that the sea was this high. We're talking about 13-foot storm surge. It was this high. Not even the strong, firm concrete structure could have withstand the force of the storm. Everything. Fireman.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Boy. Everything completely flattened. Right? And that's the story for most of the businesses that face the sea. Flattened. Seriously flattened. See there? Walls, you're looking right through, straight through the walls to the sea. where the sea just walk through. So I'm actually walking on the rubbles in the town right now. Yeah, at the road this I should be walking on. It's actually rubbles. These are all. Yeah? Yeah, so that's one of the ATMs. Somebody tried to get in there, but you know these things are strongly built. So I'm only then trying to get to, but I couldn't get to. Alright, this is it. People's businesses. The things inside the business. We're going straight out. Is it? Is it? This is it? Town of Black River. Windows smashed, buildings flat, everything. People are just helping themselves. This building was here. So now I'm looking straight through where the building was, onto the sea. See, all you're looking now at rubbles. Flat. See them there? This is Black River. This is Black River. This is what's left of it. But as I keep saying, what's good is that there are no loss of life reported so far.
Further down on that side would have the operating theatre and the female ward. Those were ravaged by the hurricane. This is the male ward. Upstairs the roof has been totally decimated. Downstairs where we had to house the rest of the patients and just huddle up until the storm had passed. And so moving on, we have our X-ray and our laboratory unit, which is, maybe from this end it looks good, but from the other side where the entrances are, which is actually facing the direction of the sea, you can see the entrance of the seawater that has come in and damaged all the equipment. I was talking about a brand new X-ray machine and many equipment that we use on a daily basis for our laboratory services. So we're basically functioning without anything, no labs, no X-rays. We're just bare bones facilities.
I'm kindly asking if you could maybe throw the light in that direction, because all of that is rubble. What was here?
So let me be the first to introduce what would have been our operating theatre. It was completely damaged and buried, and we had a major reconstruction effort over the past year. And we're actually looking to open pretty shortly before the Christmas season. I'm believing that we're just ready to move in the new equipment. And as you can see, it's out. Our generator unit, I've been told it's been damaged somewhat, and also the electrical work. So for the safety of the staff, nothing electrical can be used at this point. We can't even turn on the generators because we don't know where the wires stand at this point in time. So our newly renovated operating theatre is inoperable. So we're starting back from scratch again. So Jamaica, right, we know there are those who have reaches in all walks of life. Reach out to anyone you can, and if you can help us, please. The roads are now open. We're accepting any form of donation you can assist us with. For the time being, we're in need of a solar fridge, or a fridge in general with a generator. I'm trying to use as many of the medications I know will expire pretty quickly without refrigeration, so those are critical for us at this moment. Yes, we may not be functioning as a full hospital, but there's still going to be people who are going to come in seeking refuge from the storm, who are just trying to clear the way from the rubble that they are, just to get some emergency help. So I'm here. I have the bare bones of staff that is left and that is able to assist me, but we still need equipment. We need, as you can see, it's complete darkness. We are going to be in need of lighting. We're going to be needing equipment, bandages, topical analgesics, topical medications, anything you can provide us with, right? Food, portable water, and in fact, even a portable toilet, because many of the sewage system has been totally inoperable at this time. So we're looking after the effects of Hurricane Melissa. There's going to be widespread of things such as dengue, right, and other waterborne illnesses, because the water is, well, as we can see from the destruction, we may not be able to use the water in the pipelines anytime soon, especially for the sanitary needs that is required at a hospital. So we're going to be in need of that as well. We are insensible at this moment. This low-lying area, no gasoline is available. So even if we do get generators, we are going to need gasoline. We're going to need everything that you can possibly think of. My personal appeal is I'm reaching out to Toyota Jamaica, Ford, ATL, Isuzu. Anyone that can provide the hustle with a pickup truck that we may be able to do the up and downs and the runabout that we may need in the town to get the things that we need, the supplies. Most of our service vehicles are down. We're left with 2 vehicles at this moment. Or as you can probably see, the ambulances that are based at the Black River Hospital, they're decimated. And luckily the region has been able to provide the transportation back and forth, but we're without ambulances. We're without vehicles to do any emergency movement at this moment. We have to be using our personal vehicles. So I'm appealing to those, and it doesn't have to be those makers, anybody who can provide us with something that we can use for mobility, right? It doesn't even have to be a pickup. It can be just a big enough van that we can move around some of the supplies that we may be getting.
We refer to this as Blacksmith Lane C4. So technically you are really almost in the square. As you can see, we are on a parochial road, standing on a road. The river has taken yards, meters, feet coming into C4, into Blacksmith Lane. We have lost 3 houses. As you can see, others are lost and will be lost. If we lose this spot, meaning as you hear it crumbling, because whilst you're here, a lot fell into the river, we're going to have many more homes lost. This is one of 6 locations where the river has breached. We have in Danvers Pen 2 locations. We have here 3. We have another location further north. So this is not the highest one in terms of C4. And we have going all the way down to York and into Morant Bay. The level of river training that's required now, we are thinking about those in the west who are damaged. Black River, right back to Negril Point, Montego Bay. But at this point, C4 is in danger, is still at risk. There's those who have been damaged, there are hundreds suffering, but there are some now who are still at risk. What we will have to do is call on the National Work Agency to mobilize massive pieces of equipment, excavators and D10s to get into the river and take it off the bank of C4. To the residents standing with me, these are a few of the individuals who have lost their homes.
I want to speak a little about the situation in St. James, which was severely impacted yesterday. The Barnett River overflowed up to 16 feet of water, covered sections of Montego Bay, Westgate, Catherine Hall, Howard Cook Boulevard, the Freeport, Alice Eldemeyer Drive, Barnett Street. Public infrastructure was severely impacted yesterday in the city of Montego Bay. The infirmary was damaged. The municipal corporation, 2 floors was flooded out. Jarrett Park, where the homeless population was housed, we had to remove them to a different location. The St. James High School was being used. There are problems there. We know what is happening at Sangster International Airport, and following the tour, as Minister Dixon said, there will be a full detail on the state of the Sangster International Airport. We have now been getting some level of communication between sections of Trelawney, St. James, Hanover, Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth. And most of the calls that we have gotten are distress calls. Persons trapped on roof. The JDF and the Jamaica Fire Brigade, up to last night, we were contemplating what sort of approach to take, especially to Catherine Hall. But based on the conditions that existed, the first respondents decided that they would move, and as I speak, they are presently moving, especially in the Catherine Hall area and those areas, to see what the conditions are and to take persons out who are in need of getting out. Already we know the situation with the Ministry of Health and the number of health facilities that has been badly affected. The Black River Hospital has been devastated, for want of a better word. Falmouth in Trelawney, Cornwall Regional, the Noel's Homes in Hanover, and as I said before, the Black River Hospital, Percy Jr. in Manchester, Lionel Town and the St. Anne's Bay Hospital have all had some effects from the hurricane, and steps are being made. But you know, Jamaicans, in the middle of all of this, a baby was safely delivered under emergency conditions. So there is a Gilbert baby, a Melissa baby, and we want to commend the team who responded to that. And there, as a matter of fact, we have information that 2 other additional deliveries occurred. One mother is resting comfortably while the other remained under observation in the Savlamar Hospital. So we are a great country, and despite our challenges, we rise to the occasion.
Out of the ashes, Jamaica will rise.
Despite the destruction, Jamaica's spirit remains unbroken. Communities are coming together. Agencies are coordinating relief efforts, and the government has pledged to rebuild stronger and better. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness visited affected areas, reaffirming the commitment that the focus now is on recovery, rebuilding lives, and restoring hope.
I want to thank you, I see all your team here, for your dutiful and faithful attendance to the patients. I know all of you would have some loss at home, some damage, and half of your mind might be there, but you're physically here and working as best as you can under very difficult circumstances. We are doing an assessment, so we have a schedule of assessments. So right now we're doing Westmoreland. If the light permits, then we get into Hanover and we move on. The assessment is that it's a serious damage. We looked at White House, almost total damage. On the coast, total damage. Here the damage is severe, but I think the town can rebound very quickly. Yes, some of your utility poles are down, but your utility infrastructure is not totally damaged and can be quickly repaired if we bring in the resources. Your roads are accessible, but the roads coming in, we need to clear those, and so we're going to put some effort into that. And we want to make sure that you can restock. So
we really appreciate it.
Yeah. Listen, keep up a good job. Keep faith. All right, we're moving as quickly as we can to make sure that we recover. And believe me, we're going to recover stronger and better.
Hurricanes like Melissa remind us of nature's power, but also of our resilience. When storms move slowly, they give us time to prepare, to unite, and to rebuild. Jamaica has faced many challenges before, and each time our resilience shines through. We stand together, committed to recovery and determined to emerge stronger from this trial. This has been Perils of a Slow-Moving Storm, the impact of Hurricane Melissa on Jamaica. I'm Carol Francis. Thanks for watching.